But yeah, I had a picture too of Pickles when he was a young boy. His dad was a cigar maker, and it shows him in front of the cigar place. He's just a little boy. You could just see it on his face. He was looking for trouble.
Yeah.
Oh yes, and then we have
Pickle has a story about Pickles.
Yeah.
Won quite a bit of money on horse racing one night. Went into the bank to put it in the checking account. Fred Gabriel said, "Where'd you get all this money?" Pickle said, "I sold my oats."
So yeah, seems like he got in. I mean, he seemed to get into kind of trouble too, didn't he?
Oh, he liked to drink a little bit.
Okay, all right. Then we have the Sawyer Insurance.
Yeah.
Where was this one located? You remember?
Yeah, it's right where. That's the alley here on West Fifth Street in the Union Block, and that.
Oh.
In this building.
Okay, he was on. Okay.
Right there in the corner.
Okay. But this is such a cool picture. This is on the corner, like if you were at the Oakland, looking, because there's Trinity, and there's the old East High School, and this is before your time too. This was the Continental Hotel. Right there. They tore that down. And then the First Presbyterian Church. Corner of 5th and Court.
That's where it is now.
And a lot bigger now.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful though, that the new church is really nice. And again, Myron, we're into before our time, Reed and Butts livery.
Stable.
And let's see. It says on East 5th Street. And then in the front seated was Saul Butts. On the left is Dyer Reed. And then, was the Peel Brothers hoop mill in business? Oh no, it was gone. Moved away in 1915 before us.
There's article was in the paper on it.
Yep. Stated the Tribune evening that although it was not completed arrangements, they were expanding. It was a good business back then. Real good business. I think I did that one on Facebook Fridays. Okay, CD Perfect. Manufacturers of the Ohio Bell Flour. Is this the same location where the granary silos are?
Yeah, I think.
On North Main, on the right-hand side.
I think that's where the silo is. I remember there used to be an old elevator there. Of course, the silos were built in the late 50s, 55s, along in there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is early 1901.
Yeah.
I'd always heard stories of the granary that's on 4th Street. It used to be that manufacturing furniture, John Rausch building. that when they were taken, there was wheat chaff and everything in that because it had been used for the granary for years. And then that Algiers Park across the street, that old building there, I guess that was, the walls were full of old grain and stuff for the years. That was a Scots place too originally.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the courthouse. Yeah, it's too bad they kind of let that one fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
Because they moved it up here to be safe. Well, this one you would remember. Carney's. So what did they sell?
5 and 10 cent store. Then they moved over on the corner. Where that was Hafner's was down on North Main Street, and Carney's was on South Main Street. And right in the area of Schuler's Hardware and the Avalon Theater.
Uh-huh. Okay, yeah, because it was a small, narrow one.
Yeah.
And then he moved across.
He built that bigger building.
And then didn't that burn down?
It burned. Yeah.
And then he rebuilt.
Yep.
To what is the Union County Records place now. There used to be, when I first moved here, was furniture.
It was a furniture store at one time. Right in that area.
Was it Halig Myers or something like that? It was a big furniture store.
Yeah, there Halig Myers was the furniture store.
And I remember going up there with the big grandiose staircase to go to the second floor. And this one, I remember doing that. This is right the Houston block, like where this doorway is here. That's the bump out for the Farmers Bank. And it was the grocery store back at the JS. How do you pronounce that last name? Opile?
Outfield Grocery.
How do you say it?
Outfield.
Okay.
And Vern Swink had it then one time in there too.
Oh, same A&P guy?
Yeah.
Mabel Strauss.
Yep, Mabel worked for the Tribune. She's an old maid. She lived like she didn't have a dime.
And she died with a lot, I bet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she probably lived through the Depression, and you were a spendthrift. You just didn't
I don't know what some of these people do today if we'd have a depression like they had back in those days.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Be a lot of suicides.
And there was back then, too, when the stock market crashed. Yeah. Yes, people were devastated that lost all their money. Yeah, because my grandmother grew up in the Depression. And then in the 40s, when the war broke out, I still have those ration stamps.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah, and I got my mom's and hers, where you had to trade them in for.
Matter of fact, I just run across them that last week one day.
Did you still have a lot in there?
Oh,
A lot of the stamps left? Yeah. People just don't understand that. That you had to, like, for sugar, shoes.
Meat, sugar, flour.
Yeah.
Some groceries.
Yeah, you had, you were limited on what you could buy.
Did you said you had some of them?
I have my mother's and my grandmother's books. She'd given them to me. And I was looking through them, thinking, wow, I want to do Christmas cookies and stuff. You found other ways to sweeten things up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, this is the Gunderman building. I'm glad to see they're starting to restore some of these. But look at that. They used to have the balconies on that. Those are long gone.
I remember this little.
Oh, you were alive when
Yeah.
that was there?
Mm-hmm.
You were born, huh? On that one, Dr. Angus Swisher. So that was his medical office. Well, remember Mrs. Kempfer's framing is across the street, almost that same style without the fancy bric-a-brac on it. And that's, I remember Mrs. Kempfer was saying, remember when the North Main Street fire happened? And she said it was her little house that acted as the fire break, so it wouldn't keep going. Did you go down there and see that fire too?
Oh, yes.
And you were there with the Oakland too, right?
Well, I was off
But
to
you
the
went there.
apartment. I was there, and I did a lot of things I shouldn't have
Wow.
done.
Yeah.
I'd run a lot of air tanks for the guys.
Oh. Yeah, I suppose with the heavy
I'd
smoke.
run them down to the fire station, fill them up, and take them back
So
over
you
and
were-
change tanks.
So you were still volunteering.
I was still volunteering, and I wasn't.
Wasn't supposed to. Well, was that true though? Because it started in the bar, right? The Rainbow.
Yeah, it started in that area, yeah.
Because I saw the one van, and that your father-in-law had taken the picture with the big van in front. They were saving the alcohol.
Well, they were taking.
They were carrying
Beer.
boxes and boxes of alcohol out. Well, you got to look at it this way. It was added fuel, so they had to remove it.
Yeah,
Here's the one with Pickles Bartholomew.
yeah, yeah.
I did some research. That building is no longer. Early Cigar, because I did look it up because of his dad. And I think that was his dad standing in the center.
Could have been, I don't know.
And he had a cigar business. We had several of the cigar
Yeah,
business.
well, there was one down on East 4th Street one time, too.
Yeah, that was that Perfect cigar, wasn't it?
I don't remember what the name was.
Yeah, we had 2 or 3, because I remember reading up, and a lot of the local women worked there.
Mm-hmm. I got the old cigar box from there.
Dr. Strong. Yeah, I remember Dr. Strong. He was a famous racehorse,
Mm-hmm.
and Dr. Strong's cigar was named after him. Yeah, it goes the other way. This one, okay, Louis Linsenmeyer Saloon. An early picture of the interior. And that one was located in the Gunderman building. Remember they had the...
What have I got down here?
Yeah, it's Linsenmeyer was the saloon. You have... Oh wait, no, it's this. This is 111 East 5th. I was thinking Linsenmeyer was that Gunderman building where the Linsenmeyer had one side, and
This is on East 5th Street.
yeah, this one I always thought was at that other place, because Linsenmeyer's owned one side and the other one was the 2 sisters. One married a Linsenmeyer, the other married, I forget who she had married. So here's the Gunderman Saloon.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, see, this is 123 North Main. I was thinking this was that inside. Yeah, the balcony is still there too at that time.
Mm-hmm.
I think those probably became unsafe and to
Oh,
take them
yeah.
down.
Especially with those old bricks.
Oh yeah. This is a neat building. This is now it's Salon 122. And the addition onto the side used to be for years Dennis's barber shop. Did you ever go there?
Yeah.
To Dennis's?
Yeah, he was in there.
Yeah. Did you go there to get your hair cut?
Well, I used to go down to D Goods all the time.
Okay. But after he got out, where'd you go?
It stayed there. So who took it? Max?
Was it polling?
Yeah, I think Larry went in there when
Yeah, Larry Polling, I think.
Max Miller was downstairs on Main Street. He cut my hair a lot
Okay.
when I got back out of the service.
Well, if it was downstairs in the basement, how did you guys get down there?
Walk.
Well, smarty. But where was the stairwell? Was it out on
I can't remember.
Because a lot of them, I saw pictures like the stairwell was on the sidewalk side with going down. Well, you always heard about that Liggett story, didn't you? Kay Liggett used to tell when her father-in-law, Newt Liggett, had that pharmacy. Because at that time it had the cellar doors to go down into the basement. He would have his stock boys whistle non-stop when they brought in the barrels of alcohol to store down in the basement, so he knew they wouldn't be drinking. So when did you guys move? Well, how old were you when you moved to Marysville?
I was born here in Marysville.
Oh, okay, so you never lived out at that farm.
Oh, no. No.
You never went to St. John's School either, did you?
Yes.
Oh, you did?
But I was out there when it burned down.
So how did you get to and from school, being a city kid?
Well, we had a guy that once in a while we'd walk it sometimes in the summertime, spring and fall. But a guy got an old school bus and hauled us back and forth before the cities. And then the city school buses picked us up and took us out.
Okay. All right. But I can't believe you walked that far. That's quite...
We walked once in a while, not too often.
Yeah. So
Something happened.
I thought I'd hear the story uphill both ways.